should say, and welcome aboard the Walt Disney World Railroad. For your safety, please remain seated at all times. Keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs fully inside the train. And please seat children towards the inside of the rack with an adult on the outside. And there should be no eating, drinking, or smoking while on board. And next stop will be Main Street, USA. Your stop for the main entrance and Cinderella Castle.
Go back to me.
Ready folks, we're making the clearance to leave the station, so please remain seated at this time and no further seat changing. We are all aboard.
Howdy folks, if you're just joining us, welcome aboard the Walt Disney World Railroad. The next leg of our journey will take us all the way back to Main Street, USA. Everybody stay seated and keep your hands and arms, feet and legs safely inside the train. And as always, keep an eye on your little ones.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
As we head into the American wilderness, we'll pass by the dusty desert town of Sylvia. Keep your eyes peeled for runaway mine trains of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. I feel right at home here in the prairies and forests of the American wilderness. These woods haven't changed much since the days when settlers started heading west. Nowadays, the rails can carry us safely through the wild, and a trip that used to take months can now be made in just a few weeks. There's plenty of deer, antelope, and elk that feed along the banks of the river. And naturally, plenty of early settlers decided to put down stakes and live here too. Of course, those early settlers weren't the first to make their home in this wild frontier. These native tribes of Plains Indians were living, hunting, and trading for centuries before we ever came along. They were the first to tame the wild horses of the American plains, long before our big old iron horses started chugging through these parts. Like we're almost out of the woods, folks, and we're coming to the outskirts of Fantasyland, a place where any dream can come true. Here you can fly with Peter Pan or take a spin in a teacup. Walt Disney always believed that no magic kingdom would ever be complete as long as there was imagination left in the world. With that spirit in mind, these folks are dreaming up a whole new Fantasyland. They're hard at work making future dreams come true. Someday soon, you'll be able to take a trip under the sea with the Little Mermaid, or be our guest for an enchanted feast inside the Beast's castle. But for now, it sure is exciting to think about all the fun that lies ahead. This old steam train needs water to keep going, just like you and me. Up ahead, there's an outpost and a water tower. It looks like we'll be resting there a spell. That'll give you time. Everybody please stay on board. sit tight, and we'll be on our way in just a few minutes. Our next stop is Main Street. Looking at all those posters, I'd say the circus is coming to town. And this circus is coming to stay. It's the Fantasyland Storybook Circus. You'll be able to soar through the air with Dumbo the Flying Elephant. And join Goofy on the Barnstormer, a rollicking ride of circus acrobatics and coaster thrills. Now, the circus isn't here yet, but it won't be too much longer. Our next stop is Main Street Station. Sit tight, everyone, and we'll be underway in just a moment or two.
Alright folks, once again, please remain seated for me. We're just going to make a quick stop here, so sit back, relax, and we'll be underway in just a moment. Alright folks, looks like we're ready to go. So please remain seated.
It looks like we've replenished our water supply, and we're ready to embark on the next leg of our journey. Our destination is Main Street, U.S.A. Now, everyone stay seated and keep your hands and arms, feet and legs inside the train at all times. And please keep an eye on your children.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
There are some who say that this steam train is a little old-fashioned, but for me, it's the only way to travel. Of course, there are those who prefer to hit the highway. And on the right, you just might spot some pint-sized drivers taking their first spin behind the wheel of a car. Getting from place to place is a big deal in Tomorrowland, where you might board a people mover, zip around on the Astro Orbiter, or book a flight across the galaxy, our busy starport in Space Mountain. Tomorrowland is truly a world on the move. Like a whole lot of new neighbors have been migrating in from all corners of the Milky Way. There's that rascally Experiment 626, never known as Stitch, always up to his usual antics. Buzz Lightyear is scouting for a few good space rangers. The monsters of Monstropolis are taking a shine to Tomorrowland. I hear those monsters are pretty funny. They're sure funny looking. Yep, the future is here today at the Magic Kingdom. And the future looks like a lot of fun. But after working on the railroad all the livelong day, it's nice to come home to good old Main Street, USA. Inspired by the small-town dreams of a young Walt Disney, a walk down Main Street is like stepping back into the early years of the 20th century. Walt had fond memories of those days, and it's a dream we still like to share, especially at parade time. We've made a complete trip around the Magic Kingdom. For those of you who've been on board for the whole journey, thanks for putting up with me these past few days. If you're staying with us, we'll be headed for Frontierland next. Right now, please stay seated until our train comes to a complete stop. Then pick up your belongings and carefully step off the train. If you have strollers to unfold, please take them all the way beyond the platform so we can safely board passengers for the next leg of our journey. This is Main Street Station, Main Street, USA.
Alrighty, folks, please remain seated till the train has come to its full and complete stop. And that give anyone all clear. Once again, folks, please remain seated till the train has come to a full and complete stop.